You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. The greatest personal battle we face, part 2. And we're talking about the battle of putting ourselves number one over everything else in our lives. The difference between selfishness and selflessness. And I listen to Neil Diamond, or have over the years, and quite a few of his songs are searching sort of songs, deeper songs. He wrote one and sung one which became a hit called I Am, I Said. And it's almost like a confession or a bit of a testimony of himself, his introspection. And he says, but I've got an emptiness deep inside, and I've tried, but it won't let me go. And I'm not a man who likes to swear, but I never cared for the sound of being alone. And the chorus says, I am, I said, to no one there. And no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am, I cried. I am, said I. And I am lost, and I can't even say why. This indeed sounded like a battle, an internal battle of me and others. I am, I said. And it's interesting that the song sort of leads to emptiness or loneliness, and it's all related to trying to be number one, trying to be the king. And I want to introduce another thought here, because often we get frustrated or have this internal fight and battle because we feel we've lost something, or we haven't achieved a dream, or we haven't got anywhere with our lives. We feel like we've been losing. And I want to say this, there's a huge difference between losing something and giving something. I'm told that in the First World War there was a young French soldier who was seriously wounded. His arm was so badly smashed that it had to be amputated. And he was a magnificent specimen of a young man, of manhood. And the surgeon was grieved that he must go through life maimed. So he waited beside his bedside to tell him the bad news when he recovered consciousness. When the lad's eyes opened, the surgeon said to him, I am sorry to tell you that you have lost your arm. Sir, said the lad, I did not lose it. I gave it for France. Wow. Right there, right in the middle of that attitude, or even deeper than that, that's the whole stance in life that is not only honourable and good, but it leads to a person finding who they really are. You see, Jesus himself was not helplessly caught up in a mesh of circumstances from which he couldn't break free. And apart from any divine power he might have called in, it's quite clear that to the end he could have turned back and saved his life. He did not lose his life, he gave it. The cross was not thrust upon him, he willingly accepted it for us. So when we're talking about losing something, we have a sense of loss, and knowing that something that's beneficial to you has in some way been taken or destroyed. Something that will lead to sadness and regret and resentment, bitterness, grudge stuff, envy, hard done by, ripped off, disablement. And it can be experienced in many situations in life, with accidents and burglaries and fires and redundancies. But when we're talking about giving versus losing, it is something we do with great joy. Yes, we may miss what we've given, but it's given with great joy and we don't hold on to it. It's called selflessness versus selfishness. And I reiterate that verse I started with in the last episode. Matthew 10:39. If your first concern is to look after yourself, you'll never find yourself. But if you forget about yourself and look to me, you'll find both yourself and me. God bless you.